Knife skills are done. We have a lot more to cover, but you know, where'd you get that?
Starbucks, because apparently this fine dining restaurant don't even have coffee machine. Roger, natural at taking things off.
Hey, Uncle Roger, I need you to peel 100 oranges.
What? 100 orange? How many customers you expect to have?
I'll be right here. You got this.
Chef Brian Tsao here, not your typical chef, and today I'm going to be reacting to Joshua Weissman's video, I Taught Uncle Roger How to Be a Chef. Before I go on with today's episode, I do want to give a special shout out to my newest sous chef level patrons, Mike Smith, ArtWizKid808, and Call Sign Slinky. Guys, thank you so much for your support. Your contributions really do make a difference on this channel. And with that said, let's get right into the reaction.
Today we're teaching YouTube's biggest food critic how to cook like a chef.
Hello, uncle. How are you? Hello, niece and nephew.
Uncle Roger and
just
Joshua
about every chef and
Weissman.
home cook that there is. Today we're at
Hell
Uchi
yeah.
Houston, a true fine dining restaurant that's seen the likes of many Michelin chefs.
I have heard so many good things about the Houston dining scene. I do plan to visit one day. Let me know in the comments below. Is there any place that I should be checking out?
This look moderate upscale at best. I think you're overselling this video, Uncle Joshua.
Uncle Roger, here's the thing. You're gonna have to wear this.
What the hell is this?
Good
What
old
year is
Crocs.
this?
Those Crocs though, if you look at the bottom, those are not the non-slip versions. You want to be wearing the non-slip versions of Crocs, not just Crocs. You want to be wearing non-slip shoes in the kitchen. It's constantly being mopped. The floors are greasy. It is a real work hazard. Must be wearing non-slip shoes.
Non-slip shoes.
This shoe okay? See?
Now we have to sanitize this. How's your back?
Don't put your shoe. I'm sorry, I'm pausing like 10 times in the first 2 minutes. No, I'm not sorry, because Uncle Roger be putting his freaking shoe on top of the counter. Big no-no. Big no-no.
So first thing about kitchen etiquette, you have to know the space around you. Make yourself aware. Don't run into people. We're gonna walk past this beautiful gentleman. You're gonna say behind.
Behind.
Yep.
So you need to round a corner, but you don't know who's there. Bang, that's how you run into somebody.
Yep.
You call corner.
Oh, Uncle Joshua, what if I say golf? Does that work also?
Okay, let's talk about those two things. 1000% accurate, and we all know Josh worked in professional kitchens for quite some time, so he really knows his stuff. But 1000% accurate. Let's get a little bit into the why. I think it's common sense, but just in case, you know, when you walk behind someone in the kitchen, you could be holding a tray of food, you can be holding a pot of hot soup, and if the person that you're walking behind does not know you're there, they're just gonna take it for granted that they can turn around or move backwards. And if they bump into you when you're holding something sharp or just dangerous, period, that can be disaster. So it's vital that you say, behind you, coming behind, you just have to make your presence aware, and the same principle is for when you're coming around corners. And even when you're coming out of doors, same exact things. You want to be knocking on that door before you actually walk out so people know you're coming. That's the door's about to open. There have been disasters. You're coming around a corner, you know, someone's holding something sharp, and you can get cut. You can get seriously injured. So very important, 1000% accurate about the etiquette.
You're gonna go on the walk-in, knock first.
Oh, yeah, okay, there we go, right there. Josh brought up that point about knocking on the door of a walk-in fridge, or really any door, before you go in or out.
And when you exit, make sure you...
Okay, nice
All right, Uncle
skills.
Roger, you've seen the kitchen, now it's time to talk about this. Show me how you hold it.
Like this.
Oh,
Nice.
that's actually accurate.
Yeah, that is accurate. You see, the whole thing about the blade, I have a knife handy here. When you're working with a knife, a chef's knife, you generally, not generally, but you do want to be holding it with your finger around it, not like this. There are some exceptions, like for example, a thin bladed knife used particularly for sushi cutting. You can't really hold it like this because the blade's too thin. It's not wide enough, rather. So if you did this, your finger would stick out by the blade. So in that case, yes, you would put it on the side, something like that. But generally, with a chef's knife that has a wider blade, you want to be holding it this way. I brought this up many times in many videos, but you know, Uncle Roger's been at the food critiquing game for quite some time and has done his fair share of cooking videos. So by this point, I'm not surprised that he knows this technique.
All right, so knife skills. Everything needs to be precise. You want even cuts. So I'm gonna show you a brunoise. Take the knife, you know how to hold it. Going to cut across, and you're kind of like doing a very fine dice in a way. When you slice across the grain, that has to be equally as even.
Brunoise is basically a square that's 1/8 about approximately, if I'm remembering correctly, 1/8 inch all around. It's basically like the smallest dice that you can get. I think a small dice is 1/4 inch all around, medium dice is like half. I think a large dice is like a 3/4, something like that. I could be slightly off, but that's about the range. Sorry, I am born and raised in America, so I don't know, metric very well, even though I did live in Beijing for a number of years and should know that, but hey, that's besides the point.
So what you end up with is even cubes.
Perfect.
You want the uncle title, you cannot skip this.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, Uncle Roger, it is your turn.
A lot of pressure, a lot of pressure.
So you saw that he grabbed the Japanese mandolin for a moment there, and that's actually very common in the kitchen as well. It's just a lot more accurate to use a mandolin. So if you want to get super accurate cuts, a great way to do it is you slice, in this case, apples. You have 10 apples to brunoise, or 30 apples, or 2 apples. You slice all of them on the mandolin first. They're all a consistent thickness, and then you stack them like he did here and slice them into julienne, which is those strips, and then you take those strips and you gather them together, and then you cut the small dice or brunoise or whatever it is. That is, again, Josh knows exactly what he's doing.
We just turned the pot. We just turned the pot.
No, not the board.
I just want to be at home and watch TV.
Beautiful. He's doing it. I'm surprised, Uncle Roger.
Not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
I mean, a little bit uneven. If you feed this to blind person, they go, oh, it's the same. It's very good.
Knife skills are done. We have a lot more to cover, but where'd you get that?
Starbucks, because apparently this fine dining restaurant don't even have coffee machine.
Hey, Uncle Roger, I need you to peel 100 oranges.
What? 100 orange? How many customers you expect to have?
I'll be right here. You got this.
Putting Uncle Roger to work.
This guy laughing at me?
Okay. Yeah, those are some skills right there.
Okay, my turn.
Right. Not bad.
Uncle Roger, give up.
least you
I'm
got
gonna
the
leave it to
zest
you,
off.
okay? You do it.
Yeah, this guy's a pro. I mean, you can tell he's done thousands of them in his time. Generally, the way I do that when I need to peel an apple or an orange, the Korean way that I learned it, especially with apples in particular. Let's use this that I used to clean the lens. This is generally a no-no, but I have the knife towards myself, and then you turn the apple or the fruit product and you peel it that way. In this case, the way they're doing it here is actually safer when you have the knife away from you. But again, growing up, I watched my mom peel an apple that way. I didn't know that was really a thing until I went to culinary school, and myself and a handful of other Korean kids, my mom's Korean, I'm not full Korean, we all peeled our apples that way whenever we had a dish that called for apples, and all the other kids were like, whoa, I didn't know you could do it like that, which I thought was kind of weird because they were all using peelers and stuff.
Uncle Roger sliced 100 orange, just like you requested.
That was fast.
Uncle Roger, natural at taking things off.
Hey, I want to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, MyHeritageDNA.com. MyHeritage is the #1 family history and DNA service in Europe. It's fun and easy to discover more about your origins and possibly find new relatives. You get set up, they send you this kit. It is super easy. It comes with a few swabs and some vials with solution. You swab one cheek, open up the vial, dunk it in, break it off, close it up. There's one more vial, you repeat, and you mail it to MyHeritage. Here we are a few weeks later. I have since even rearranged my office, but I got an email alert that my results are in, so I had the lovely Amy Ernst, who's over there, to put it up on the screen. It's covered by another window. So this is my genuine reaction to my DNA test. I am very excited to see what the results are gonna be. Ooh. Interesting. My father is of Chinese descent, born and raised in Taiwan. My mother is born and raised in Korea, so I am a mixed Asian baby. But it says something interesting here. it says that I am 64.3% Chinese and Vietnamese. Very interesting. It says that I am 20% Japanese and Korean. That makes a lot of sense, specifically the Korean part. And then 15.7% other ethnicities. What is that? So let's, Mongolian. Really? Huh. Interesting. I did not know that. Hope you enjoyed this little journey as much as I did. In fact, I think you'll love it, and I definitely encourage you to check out the link in the description below to buy your own kit, but use the code TSAO, that's right, Tsao, TSAO, to get free shipping. And as an additional added bonus, you can start a 30-day free trial of MyHeritage's best subscription family history research and get an additional 50% off if you decide to continue it. Remember, visit the link in the description below, get your own DNA kit, and use the code TSAO, that's Tsao, TSAO, to get free shipping and enjoy your DNA search with MyHeritage today.
It sounds like you're ready. Cool. Well, so we're gonna make the hamachi dish. We have a loin of hamachi. It's gonna be a crudo dish, so it's all raw. We're not gonna cook it. Instead, we're gonna slice this very beautifully into cubes. Remember how we showed the brunoise?
Yeah.
We're doing that, but bigger.
Big and chunky. You have to feel it inside me. You put inside you.
What?
Feel it.
What?
What?
Let the knife do the work. The way that you know the fish is good is if you listen carefully. Listen.
If you start listening to your fish, you know you need more friends.
One fluid movement from heel to tip.
Just make fish and chip. Just bread this and fry it. No need chopping.
knife technique
Save
there.
time. Hiya. Caviar on fish and chip.
What has happened to you? So you saw how I did this. Here's the knife. I'll be right back.
Uncle Roger didn't pay attention. He sounds like yoga teacher. You ever noticed that?
So you can see with Uncle Roger how slow he's working, and with protein and particularly fish, you have to start somewhere, right? But generally, you don't want to have a novice doing this. You don't want them to take too long with processing your fish. The longer it sits out and it gets to room temperature, the more the oils will render. You know, the integrity of the fish won't really hold up. You either want to, you know, work as fast as possible, or just, you know, or have a temperature controlled room, which is not always going to be the case in a lot of restaurants. In fact, a lot of restaurant kitchens, they're not temperature controlled. So the summers, they're blazing hot, and then in the winters they're just right because it's cold as hell, but the ovens and stoves are going off and stuff like that. But yeah, I did a Point Crow reaction when he was just butchering a piece of wonderful Wagyu to death, and I mentioned that several times. You know, he just had the steak, this Wagyu steak, sitting out, and by the end of it you can really see the quality had degraded a lot. So that's why it's so important to work quickly, efficiently, and keep your product as cool/cold as possible.
Look at that.
Look at that. Not bad.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
hamachi's
not
done.
bad,
Onto
though,
the rest of the
ultimately.
components.
I should also mention, when you're working with it, I know this may sound a bit, may sound strange, but you want to like do your best not to manhandle the product too much, because your body temperature is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, right? Whatever that is in Celsius. It's warmer than something that's coming out of the fridge. A fridge holds product at 40 degrees or below. So every time you touch the product, it's actually warming it up, and that will also add to the degradation.
The only time Uncle Roger feels sense of urgency
Sense
is
of
when I have to
urgency,
take and
vital,
there's no toilet
vital in
around.
the
Working at a
professional
restaurant,
kitchen.
you constantly feel like you need to take the
Exactly. And sometimes you do. Okay. A relish is versatile. It goes with almost anything.
So you're saying relish is like white people, MSG?
Next we have Castle Vetrano olives. We're gonna cut it into sort of these rough rings and then run your knife through it really
Oh,
quick.
so easy. No.
You already skipped the direction I showed you.
Fine dining, yeah? It's fine.
Bragging notion, I like that. You're adapting. Sometimes you get something thrown at you, you gotta improvise.
It's just called common sense. Not bad. See, which one Joshua, which one mine? You don't even know.
Now we make the relish. Full, we have our brunoise apple that's going in, olive. So when you season, you need to be very intentional. You wanna balance it. Lemon, salt to taste.
To taste what? You're not even tasting it?
We're gonna taste it in a second.
Oh, this pretentious what?
And then a little bit of olive oil,
Hiya.
and then you're gonna stir.
What are you doing this for?
I'm surprised
You're a
Uncle
cheap-
Roger didn't make a Jamie Oliver joke right there.
Exact same thing as doing this. No wasted movement. I thought you were about precision.
Last thing is our broth. This is a lacto-fermented tomato broth.
Ah, look like dishwashing liquid.
Not quite. Lacto fermentation is, you know, basically a similar process for making things like kimchi, pickles, sauerkraut. It's basically when the sugars in a vegetable product, or really any, well, let's just stick with vegetable product, the bacteria is allowed to consume that and it changes and it gets sour and so on and so forth.
Add a little bit of lemon juice, kind of brighten it up a little bit. It's one of the greatest things of all time, shiradashi.
You don't even need the tomato bowl, just use dashi.
No. We need the customers. Time to plate. Freshly sliced fish. We're gonna think about how much we need. Couple spoonfuls, salt to taste. Ooh. A little bit of olive oil, and then a touch of lemon juice. Gently toss this together. Plate, center ring.
Using ring too fancy. Just fish and soy sauce, Michelin star. You do all this. How many Michelin star you got? See?
Take this ring mold out.
Nice.
We're gonna take our relish. We're gonna add in little intervals. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Now we have our candied garlic there.
You know when you eat this, it all turns into mush in your stomach. You know that, right?
More shallot. Last bit is going to be our tomato broth.
All
right
comes out one way, that's true.
Olive
oil dots in there. Finish it with microgreens. I don't know how you feel about microgreens.
No.
Finished.
I'm telling you, this too fancy.
Uncle Roger don't like any greens.
Woo! It's time for service. You're gonna go back to the kitchen. You have everything you need. So, see you later.
Bam, throwing them right into the fire.
I'd like 3 hamachi, please.
Fire 3 hamachi.
All right. First step is the fish, olive oil, with the relish go in there. No, the relish go on top after. A bit of salt, a bit more olive oil, stir it together. The lemon go in.
So this is called a pickup. When the chef orders a dish or the customer orders a dish, the server puts it into the system, ticket prints out, the chef calls it out. So pick up 1 hamachi, 1 whatever, 1 bagel, whatever the heck it is. That's the pickup. And the vital part of the pickup for the cook is remembering the steps. It can get confusing, even for me at Mission. I don't make the sandwiches myself every day. I'm there working all the time, but I'm not the one preparing the actual sandwich. And even for me, sometimes I don't remember like which item goes when. We have an assembly matrix that I put together because, again, there's so many different sandwiches, so many different combinations. It's hard to remember them all when you're not doing it all the time. And for any new cook, that's also the hard part, is remembering where the placement of everything goes. And it's not uncommon that you mess it up or something's not quite perfect and the chef will call you out and be like, hey, you should have done this way and that way, blah, blah, blah.
Now we play ring. Where's the tweezer? Where's the tweezer? Oh no. Rule of 3.
Right.
Dashi
Yeah,
broth.
generally when you're plating, you want to go with an odd number rather than an even number. It's just generally a bit more pleasing to the eye.
Cilantro.
Little rule of thumb for you.
You didn't give me cilantro. Oh, there it is. Hamachi with cilantro.
Yeah, that's micro cilantro.
Okay, Uncle Roger got this. Next plate. Uncle Roger gonna give this one a bit more fish because I like this customer.
Oh, big no-no. You need to be consistent with your portioning between every item. That's one of the hardest parts of working in a kitchen, is the consistency. So if you have 3 of the same dish going onto the same table, but all 3 of them have different portions, the customer is going to notice and not be too pleased about it.
Fried garlic, gonna give this customer more. Don't forget the cilantro. This time, the olive oil. Maybe
Now he's
squirt it
taking all
around the
these
side
liberties.
also.
Big no-no, big no-no. Follow chef's
Hamachi
instructions.
crudo. One last one. I got this, no problem.
Actually, can I have a steak?
Cancel last hamachi. Fire 1 wagyu on the fly, please.
What? Steak? Uncle Joshua never teach me how to make steak.
Come on, Uncle Roger. You gotta be faster.
Oh, what am I gonna do?
Sometimes you get something thrown at you, you gotta improvise.
Behind.
Oh, snap. Oh, man, that kitchen is really well organized. Beautiful work. Everything's labeled, everything's stacked neatly and nicely. Very, very impressive. Clearly, they know what they're doing there.
And when you exit, make sure you... So when you season, you need to
MSG,
be very
I know
intentional.
It. MSG's coming out of the pants.
Just use MSG.
Oh, not quite the pants.
You want even cuts and let the knife do the work.
I think I'm missing something.
A relish is versatile. It goes with almost anything.
White people, MSG. I think it still needs a little bit of sauce.
It's one of the greatest things of all time. Shiradashi.
Done. Have to run it out to customer. Hello, hello.
Generally, the cook's not bringing it out to the customer.
This is the best steak I've ever eaten.
I hope he's not acting. I hope he actually mean it. MSG never fail, but little nephew, you need to learn how to use chopstick properly. Look at that.
Uncle Roger, fantastic display of improvisation. I'm proud of you, I am.
I think I'm onto something with the dashi steak.
So I hope you learned to support your local restaurants. Thank you to Uncle Roger and thank you to Uji Houston for making this happen.
Oh, you call this local restaurant? I thought you say fine dining.
It's a local fine dining restaurant.
Okay, whatever you say.
Don't forget to subscribe, and also to him.
Yeah.
His link will be in the description.
Awesome video, and guys, don't you forget to subscribe. Hit that thumbs up. It's a little thing for you, but it really does help out this channel, and I appreciate you guys so much. Everything that Joshua brought up, whoop, lights went off. Yeah, these are motion censored lights, so come back on. Come back on, lights. Oh, I'm gonna need to get used to that. Anyway, you know, as usual, Josh is a pro. He knows exactly what he's talking about. Every point that he brought up is 1000% accurate. And as always, I enjoy watching these two in videos together. With that said, hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. And remember, don't be afraid to fail because it can only make you stronger. And with that said, I'm Chef Brian Tsao, not your typical chef, and I'll see you really soon.